Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahakdash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most of the world. Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS UK London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to edify those of which I spoke of. As always, I'd like to begin by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, West Africans predominantly, but you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we as a people have been scattered among all nations to our various captivities. But if your sea line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like. So this is an article from the Daily Mail Online. It says, terrifying link between UFOs and nukes laid bare. This is published on the 23rd of September, so that's Monday. It says, they may not come in peace after all. Over the decades, dozens of UFOs have been witnessed around nuclear weapon sites. Former Pentagon investigator Luis Elizondo said earlier this year that encounters could be reconnaissance missions for potential invasion. But in his new book, researcher Robert L. Hastings, who has devoted many decades to interviewing dozens of U.S. military personnel who have seen UFOs near nuclear sites, believes the reality may be more complex. Excuse me. Hastings looks at dozens of cases that have occurred since the United States detonated its first atomic bomb at the Trinity test site in 1945. But the connection between UFOs and nuclear sites has persisted in India, Russia, and elsewhere across the globe. In fact, US UFO reports over America's nuclear arsenals appear to shift from sites where the bombs were made to missile silos and US air bases as the Cold War arms race grew. In his book, UFO and Nukes, based on interviews with more than 150 veterans, Hastings reveals that investigators are prevented from properly probing cases because of dubious layers of classification. One thing is for sure, however, it is obvious that if there are extraterrestrial visitors that are greatly interested in our nuclear weapons. Hastings writes, a public grassroots effort must be made in the interim to understand as best as possible, using data gathered thus far, the nature of the intentions of those who pilot the UFOs. As to why they choose to buzz around the world's most dangerous military sites, there are several theories. Perhaps the visitors who have empathy for humankind wish to warn us of the dangers of nuclear warfare, Hastings writes. Wishful thinking. Or perhaps they have a use for our planet, let's say for scientific purposes, and know that the global nuclear warfare will disrupt their data gathering and or experiments. The more mundane explanation is that the sightings are simply foreign nations tech spying on higher priority targets. Los Alamos. Established in 1943 as the base for the Manhattan Project led by Robert Oppenheimer, Los Alamos was the birthplace of nuclear weapons. But Hastings says that even at this early stage there are sightings of unusual craft. The FBI memorandum dated 31st of January 1949 refers to observations of flying discs, flying saucers, and balls of fire. The sightings have begun as early as December 1948, Hastings reveals. The memo said this matter is considered top secret by the intelligence officers of both the Army and of the Air Forces. Hastings said that multiple UFO sightings were also seen in Sandia Base in Albuquerque, where further atomic weapons were tested, and at Oak Ridge Laboratory, a fissile materials production site. Hastings writes, for whatever reason, those operating the UFOs, those piloting UFOs whose origin and intentions were unknown, appeared to be very interested in the facilities associated with America's atomic weapons program. Operation Castle 1954. The Castle Hydrogen bomb tests at Bikini Atoll tested high-yield weapons, and Castle Bravo was the largest nuclear site ever detonated by the USA. But Hastings says that documents uncover long after the tests reveal the presence of unknown craft. The Castle Bravo detonation was preceded by mysterious radio blackouts, Hastings says. In 1998, Patricia Brody, the legislative director of the National Association of Atomic Veterans, found reference to UFO sightings during the Castle tests, going through 500 pages of documents relating to the logistics. The document was later removed from the official records, Hastings claims. In a transcribed ship deck log from April 7, 1954, sailors and Marines aboard the Atomic Energy Commission's flagship, the USS Curtis, which had transported the special devices or hydrogen bombs to test the area, saw a luminous object fly over the ship at high speed. Marine Corporal Joe Stolling said he had been approached by multiple sailors and Marines who had seen the UFO, which was the talk of the ship. Missile set to launch. Hastings says that all of the dozens of interviews he recorded with former intercontinental ballistic missile launch officers over the years, one stands out as perhaps the most disturbing. In a 2007 interview with David H. Schur reveals that the UFO activated the launch sequence of his Minuteman missiles. Schur, a Minuteman crew member from 1963 to 1967, said that a bright hovering object appeared to be sending messages to 6 or 7 of the missiles at the site. Schur said it was as if one object was scanning each missile one by one. Some of the missiles began to display a launch in process, Schur said. That means that the missile has received a launch signal. When this happens, we get indication in the capsule that a launch command has been received by the missile, Schur said. If this happens without proper authority, you flip what's called an inhibit switch to delay the launch for a given period of time. If an inhibit command comes in from another launch capsule, it shuts down the launch totally. But if the second command doesn't come in, the missile will wait for a specified period of time and then launch automatically. The crew pressed the inhibit switch and the missiles didn't launch. The commanders at the base told him not to mention the incident again. Soviet sightings. In 1984, a strange craft was spotted quite close to Soviet Kata-Kurgan tactical nuclear missile base located in Uzbekistan today. The site was believed to have multiple mobile tactical missiles. Missile technician Shamil Umagatov reported seeing a metallic appearing cigar-shaped object slowly descending at a 45-degree angle. As the object descended, it emitted a hissing sound. Hastings writes, the next day in a nearby vineyard, 3 apparent landing gear marks and an equilateral triangle pattern were found within an area damaged vines measuring 30 by 80 meters. Each depression was half a meter deep and seemed to be created by a hemispheric or globe-shaped landing pad. The Soviet military investigated, but the findings are not available to researchers, Hastings said. So that's the end of the article. But that shows that the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is in control of these missiles, and he's got his angels watching them, so that when eventually these missiles are shot, none of them are going to break rank, and they're all going to reach their targets. Joel 2. Because the missiles form part of the Lord's army. This is Joel 2, Joel's 2nd chapter. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread among the mountains. A great people and a strong they have not been. Ever the like, never shall there be any more after, even to the years of many generations. This is speaking of the missiles. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth stubble, and as a strong people that sit in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like mighty men of war, and they shall march everyone in his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So the missiles aren't going to be going off target or colliding with each other. They're all going to hit their designated targets with 100% precision and accuracy, because the chariots and the angels in the chariots are going to be helping to guide them to their destinations. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone on his path, and when they fall upon the sword they shall not be wounded. So they're not going to be able to shoot these missiles down. The earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is great, and very terrible, and who can abide it? So there you go. That's the answer that you're not going to get from the article. That's the answer you're not going to get from the article, that the Most High has his angels watching these missiles, because they form part of the Most High's army, and they're going to be used in these last days to destroy mainly Babylon the Great, which is America in the Bible. America's going to be utterly burned with fire. And certain other places in the world are going to get hit too, but America's going to be that place which will never rise again. Its destruction's going to be a memorial to those afterwards who see it, as to what happens when you choose to live ungodly on the face of the earth. That's the judgment for Babylon the Great, which is America. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most and all well, and shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'll catch you in the next lesson. Lord willing, shalom for now.